Alright, so the next thing that we really need to understand is the higher time frame narrative. So the higher time frame narrative means basically explains where price is going next. By higher time frame I mean 4 hour is the main time frame that we're gonna use to identify where the market wants to head, so we can avoid taking counter trade. The biggest mistake that a lot of smart money traders and retail traders make is they try to catch reversals. It's a mistake that I make. I still make it sometimes because I get lost in the lower time frames, but it's the one that really damages your win rate and your profitability. Why? Because as I said, not knowing where the 4 hour and the higher time frame wants to go is just a recipe for disaster, because you're gonna get lost trying to catch the bottom or the high, and it's really good to understand the price follows a certain pattern. So let's take a look at Euro USD, and this is from my personal experience and the fact that I did take some losses not following this rule and this concept of the higher time frame narrative. So here we had Euro USD that was very bullish, coming strong from basically the lows here, really strong. You see how it continued strong until finally it couldn't break above this level. It kept wicking above. I was personally waiting for 1.11 to be touched. It didn't, and price started to drop really fast. And this is where I got lost trying to buy instead of sell, because I wasn't watching the 4 hour. The best way to understand how the higher time frame moves is for us to go on the charts settings and then just disable the wicks. Now it all becomes much clearer, right? You see price is going bullish, and now you see the order flow switching bearish here. So price, instead of making high highs and higher lows, it reversed and started going down. So what we need to understand is price returns for our areas or areas that price broke. So this is basic market structure, right? Here, after we failed to make a new high, we are waiting for this low to be taken to confirm that price wants to go bearish. Here it was my mistake. I was a beautiful short because price came to retest that area multiple times and it gave 4 equal lows and gave a bullish reaction. After this bullish reaction, again I was lost trying to get in buys without seeing the bigger picture that price wants to go down. So instead of trying to sell from these areas or even from the, let's see if the optimal trading range was good. You see how perfect it was even on the 4 hour, and we had an imbalance on the 4 hour here also. So this was a really nice and clean setup. It was just perfect. You could just swing this trade if you want to swing it. Big stop loss, but you can target a 1 to 5 or something like that. I don't know, or just use the lower time frames. But you see price gave equal lows, came back up, and then started dropping. So you created a new break of structure to the downside. Now you wait for the break of structure to happen. You see here price broke below. Again, I was trying to buy because I was seeing it react from this doji here, so it gave a nice reaction. I was just willing to get into buys. Nice reaction, and price continued down again. Even here, if we mark the optimal trading range, surprise, exactly at the 0.62, 0.7, exactly in an imbalance on the 4 hour here. Perfect touch, and then another drop. Here, made another break of structure. I was looking at the next area to take longs from, which is this one. I was like, okay, this is liquidity. This week is liquidity for price to come into that area and then react. So here I have another good reaction, but I was only looking at the 50-minute and the 1 hour time frame. I wasn't looking at the 4 hour picture. You can see on the 4 hour we never made a new high. We only had high, low, high, low, high, low, high, low, higher, low, yeah, low, higher, low, and then another low here. So we never broke structure to the upside. There was no reason to buy. Price was not heading up, it was heading down, right? Because it was retracing and then continuing. Here also, you see, break of structure, price almost touched it, 0.62, another break of structure. What's next? You see, again, looking at the next area. So this is just, it was a big mistake from my part. I was lost in this bias, which was again a mistake, but I'm here to basically go over this again and show you guys how basically it works, because it's very simple once you understand it. But because we are humans, we tend to make mistakes. So here again, created a new high, which created a nice push down. Wait for price to retrace. You have the imbalance here on the 4 hour where price comes in. You can look for confirmation there, 50-minute. You see how perfect it was. Here also I was getting lost in buys because price came up, created Asia session, and then Asia session low was induced. London gave a nice setup for longs, and I was getting stuck in longs instead of taking shorts here, respecting my area, and then target again the lows, another 1 to 10. Beautiful. Instead, I was trying to buy because it gave me the false impression on the 1 hour that it wants to go bullish because it had a nice reaction. But going on the 4 hour, you can see it was just a retracement after this impulse move to continue down more. Here, after it reacted again, you see it tweaked down, up, came down again. Here, I also got fooled because looking at the 1 hour, we took liquidity from these equal lows. Price came up, gave a nice reaction, made a change of character. At the retest, I was trying to long it, got stopped out, price continued to the downside. Why? Because the higher time frame narrative was still bearish. You see here, nothing happened. Price just did another reaction at the 0.62, 0.7, continued down more. Now what happened? You see price created a new low. So we can either have a retracement back to this level, either here or just the whole area, and then continue down if we have the confirmation. Price can also start going bullish now, right? He can have a big push and then another push, and then we can start looking for buys. But until that happens, the 4 hour still bearish. We also took some liquidity, so we took out this week, we came into this week almost. So in this year, right, we can have basically a reaction because it's a daily week that was taken out. We can have a bullish reaction, but again, it's very risky because look at the lower time frame. It can fool you a little bit, right? 1 hour going bearish, 15 minutes, you can see created New York low. Price gave a nice reaction on the 50 minute as I was presenting the last video. If you're on trick base on this, just nah, it's not that good. Only the sell was good, and now again price is playing around in this area. So it may not go up, but the truth is we need to understand the higher time frame narrative. The same way it was when price was going up and people were trying to sell it. Same exact thing. See, price made a new high. Here it came right back here. Let's look for a cleaner entry from this low to this high. Price came right there, made a new high. You see how price on the 4 hour was just respecting the structure. Here, this is the low. You can take it here. Perfect touch. We had this area also, the flip zone, perfect to the top, and then here is where price reversed and just dumped. So it's very important to just get back to ourselves when we get stuck in the lower time frames, when you get stuck on the 5 minute, the 50 minute for trades. Even if we're only looking at London session and New York session, we tend to get stuck into trades. So the best way to avoid that is basically just go back on the 4 hour time frame, see what's going on here. There's no reason to buy because even bearish volume is coming in. This 4 hour candle just made a little bit of a push bullish. There is not really any reason to buy, right? We can anticipate that price is going to pull back bullish, but we can't know for sure. So that is why it's best to just stick to the higher time frame narrative, wait for the pushes to happen, then look for a pullback when the bottom is confirmed, and then continue to go in the same direction with the higher time frame narrative.